All right, so now let's continue and create the function to update this profile. So there are some things to consider. First off, I want us to come to let me show you. So I want you to come to this form here and just add some margin. So just say dash dash m and save, and that will just add a little bit of margin around the form. All right, now one other thing to note is that when you refresh this page, remember I said that when you refresh your page, the Redux state will be lost and you're not going to have access to things like maybe the username, the email that comes from Redux. So there's a way we can handle that. So for example, if the user refreshes their page, right, all our Redux states will be lost and then we're not going to have access to the data that we want to update, even though we are in the edit profile page. So you see, we don't have the image, nothing. So when this happens, what do you want to do? Do you want to fetch the user profile all over again? So for me, I don't want to do that anyway. So what I'll just do is I'll just say that, look, if the user refreshes the page or if for any reason we're not able to access the Redux state, just go back to the profile page. And I'm sure that when I go back to the profile page, it will fetch the profile data again. So how am I going to do that? Well, I'm just going to come here. Let's see. There's something I'm looking for, which okay, yeah. So just below this user here that we are getting from Redux. So we're selecting this user from Redux. I'm going to destructure the email out. So I'll say const, and then I'll just get the email out. That's going to be equal to user. Okay. Then I'll come down here and add a use effect. Let's open that up and add your dependency array. I will now say that if there is no email, most likely due to the fact that the page refreshed and the state was cleared out, if there is no email, what I want to do is I want to navigate back to the profile page. So I'll bring in my use navigate first. So use navigate, all right, and then I'll create my navigate variable. So here, let me just put it up top here. I'll say const navigate, and that's going to be equal to use navigate. So here I'll say if there's no email, I want to navigate to the profile page. So / profile. Okay, save. Then it needs to have a dependency here. So the dependency will be email. So it will watch for the email, and then I'll just add navigate, comma, and navigate. Right. So you see, just by saving it the first time, it has already brought us back to the profile page and we have all the data. So if I click on edit, it goes to the profile edit page and then we have the data. But if for any reason I refresh this page and the state is lost, it checks that, oh, there's no more email, and then it takes us back to the profile page. So you see, it has taken us back to the profile page. So that's basically what I just wanted to do here. I didn't want to start having to fetch the user profile again and then trying to save it and stuff like that. No, I didn't want to do that. But it's something you can absolutely do. Okay, but I didn't want to do that. All right. So now let's go back to the edit profile page, and now let's work on the functionality to edit this profile. So I'll come down here to where we have the save profile. Okay, yeah, so this is it. And then just come down. So we're going to do everything here, both our communicating with the back end and everything. We're just going to do it here. The reason why I'm doing everything here is that I want to show you how to interact with Cloudinary just from your front end. We've already seen how we can save images to Cloudinary from the back end. I also want you to know how you can save images to Cloudinary from your front end. Okay, so let's get started. So I'm going to do first of all, set is loading to true. So set is loading, and I'll set it to true. Then I'm gonna do a try catch block here. So try catch. Now in the try block is where I'll attempt to save the profile data. So first off, before we save the profile data, we need to first handle the image upload if there is an image. So here, let me say handle image upload to Cloudinary, of course. So first off, I'll create an image URL. I'll say let image URL, and I'll just define it. Okay, then let's have an if statement to check the format of the image, because we don't want any kind of image to be uploaded. We want specific image format. So first off, let me even bring this down. So first off, I'll say first of all, check if there's a profile image. So remember, we have this variable called profile image, and that's what we are saving our image to when we select this guy here. So I'll come down here and see, okay, yeah. So I'll say if we have a profile image, okay, and now I will now select the various image type. So let me just come down here, and then I'll just open my parentheses. So here I'll say if the profile image and then dot type is equal to, so triple equals, and then I'm looking for image forward slash, the first one will be, sorry, forward slash, the first one will be JPEG. Then I'll now add an or. You know what, let me just duplicate this 3 times. 1, 2. So here I'll add an or, and now I'll select the JPG. Then I'll add an or again. Sorry. Then lastly, I'm going to select the PNG. So these are the 3 image type that I want to be able to upload. So forgive me for the way I separated it. I just wanted you to see clearly what we are trying to achieve. So now let's come inside this block here and say what we want to do, having checked for that, check that there's an image, and that the image type is image and PNG or whatever this is. So what I want to do is I want to put it inside a form data. So here I'll say const, and I'll just give it a variable name of image, and that's going to be equal to new form data. Sorry, form data. So call it. Now, well, remember, whenever you use form data, you need to append the properties to it. So here I'll say image dot append. And what do I want to append? Well, I want to append, the first one is the file, and I would append the profile image. Okay, then because we're uploading it to Cloudinary, there are some Cloudinary properties that we are supposed to append as well. So let me show you. So I'll just duplicate this twice. The first Cloudinary property that we need to append is what is known as the cloud name, cloud_name. I'll show you how to locate it in your Cloudinary account, don't worry. Okay, the second property here is the upload preset. So here I'll say upload_preset, and I'll show you this also in your Cloudinary account, but for now I'll make it an empty string. All right, so now you need to make sure you have these 2 pieces of information from your Cloudinary before you can upload from the front end. So let's go to Cloudinary and get this information. So I'll come here to my browser, and then I'll go to Cloudinary. So this is me on the Cloudinary website, and I kind of scroll down a little bit. Because if I scroll up, you see my API key, and I don't want to have to show you my API key. But when you log into your dashboard, the first thing you see will be your cloud name. My own cloud name is ZenoTrust, and I think it's usually the last thing the last name in your API variable. So mine is Zenotrust. Now, for us to get our upload preset, you need to click on this your name here, and then just click on settings. If you click on settings, you will see it will bring you to your settings page, and then just click on upload. Right? Click on upload and then scroll down. If you scroll down, you will see I hope I've not passed. Aha, so you see this upload preset. Now, what I need you to do is to add an upload preset. If you add an upload preset, you create a new upload preset, and then it will just give you a unique number or a unique preset name, which is this guy you see here. So before you do anything, just copy this preset name, right? And we're going to use it. So I've copied mine. So I'll come here and then I'll click sign in mode to unsigned. Okay. So now I'll just come down and save. So come down and you see where you get the option to save. Oh, so it's at the top here. So just click on save, and this new preset that you've just created will be saved. Now what it means is that we can now use it in from the front end of our application. So let me come back here, and then I'll just close minimize this guy and paste in my upload preset. All right, then I told you my own cloud name is Zenotrust. So Zenotrust. Aha, so we are good, we are making progress. Now after we've saved the image to this new form data, the next thing we want to do is to upload the image to Cloudinary first. So I'll add a comment. I'll say first save image to Cloudinary. So after we save the image to Cloudinary, we'll now save it to our database with the URL. So here I'll say const response, and that's going to be equal to, and we're going to use fetch API. We're not using Axios here, we'll just use fetch API. So I'll say await and fetch. Now, when you use the fetch, you're going to slot in the URL you want to fetch your data from. So it's going to be inside a string. But because we are using await here, we need to make this our save profile function asynchronous. So I'll say async, like so. Aha. And you see now that this doesn't throw any red markings again. So now what is the URL to save stuff to Cloudinary? So I'll type it out so that you can see. You know what? Let me bring it to the new line so that you can I will just type it out. So it's HTTPS, and then you just go to api.cloudinary.com, cloudinary.com. That's it. Then /, you now select the version. So in our case, it's version 1_1. Okay. Then you will now select your cloud name. So in our case, my cloud name is Zenotrust. So your cloud name should go here next. Okay. Then lastly, you specify that you want to, it's an image image /upload. So just saying that you want to upload an image. So this is the URL you need to upload to. The only difference is that your cloud name, you just change this to your cloud name. Okay, good. Now you add a comma here, and then we'll add some other properties to this request. So those properties will go inside an object. So first off, let's add the method. So what kind of method? What are we trying to do? We're trying to save something to our cloud, and it's going to be a post request. Okay, that's one. Then you will now specify the data you want to save to the cloud, and that's going to be inside our body. Okay, so the body in our case, it's this image we've created. So I'll just say image here. All right, now so that's it. Now what we can do now is that this is a response, and it contains the response we get from Cloudinary. So let me just make sure that I'm here. Aha. So I'll just come here, I'll close this guy, then I'll come down, and then I'll create another variable. I'll say const, and I'll call that variable image data, and that's going to be equal to await response dot, I'll just say response .json, like so. All right, so this image data is going to contain our image URL. Now I'll now come down here and say image URL, which is this variable we defined at the top here. I'll now set it to be equal to my image data, Control Z, that will be image data dot URL. So it's going to have a URL, that's what we're interested in, and then I'll convert it to a string, so dot to string. Okay, now what do I want to do? I'm just going to log this image URL to the console, or better still, I'll just log the image data to the console. So I'll just say log, and then I'll just say image data. So now what this means is that if we submit this form and we selected an image here before submitting the form, we expect that it will be uploaded to Cloudinary, and we'll be able to log the URL or the response from Cloudinary to the database. But before we do that, let's just handle our error. So this catch here, let's not leave it blank. So first off, if there's any error, I will first set is loading to false. So set is loading, set that to false. Then I'll just toast the error. So toast TOA toast dot error. Sorry. Control Z. Come on, help me out. Toast dot error. And then I'll just toast the error dot message. Okay. But also I'll log the error to the console. So log the full error to the console. Just in case I have an error, I want to be able to see it. Let me see if I can auto import toast now. Unfortunately, I still cannot import toast from React Toastify. Okay, so let me just import it myself. I'll come here, import toast, and where is it coming from? React Toastify. Aha. All right, so now moment of truth. Let's test our upload functionality and see if it works. I think maybe I'll just add a toast here as well. So toast.success, and then I'll just say image uploaded successfully or something. So image uploaded. Yeah, I think I'll just do that. All right, so let me go ahead and save image URL. This should not show. Wait, let's see what's going on here. Image URL. Anyway, I think I'll just test it out first, then we'll see. So I'll come here and I'll select an image. Okay, so let's just select something here. Okay, I'll just select this express image here, and then maybe this one, I'll just click on open. So we have the image, and then let's click on edit profile and see if it truly works. So edit profile, and we have the loading spinner, and it says image uploaded. Okay, so there's different ways we can check that the image was actually uploaded. The first is to check the console. Oh, and I did not set its loading to stop loading. Anyway, let me just check the console. We're going to set that later. So you see we get something in the console, and it's coming from edit profile. So let's open it. So you see we have access to the response from Cloudinary, and one of the properties we're going to have here is the URL. So this URL here, which is the URL for the image. Okay, so I'll close that. And if you also want to confirm, you can go to Cloudinary and click on my media library. If you click on media library, you will see where we're going to have assets folder, and in our assets folder we'll have that image. Okay, so that's it. So we've been able to successfully upload the image to Cloudinary, and I need to refresh this page though because of this loading, and we have assigned it to this image URL variable. So I can get rid of all of this. I don't want to toast that image was uploaded because technically what I want to do is I want to upload everything to MongoDB. Okay, so here, since I now have the URL here, I will now create a form data. So I'll say save profile, and before I save the profile, I'll say const form data, and it's just going to be an object that will contain all the information about the user. So first we're going to have the username, and that's going to be profile.name. So remember, we have a profile variable, so profile.name. This one now is coming from the form, the details on this form. Okay, let me click on edit one more time. So this, like profile.name, this is it here. So let me just add a comma, and then I'll just duplicate this a couple of times. So this other one here is going to be phone, and we're going to point to profile.phone. Okay, then this one is going to be profile.bio, so bio. Then the last one is supposed to be profile.photo, so photo. Now this is going to be a ternary operator. So first off, I'll say that if there's a profile image, right, then in other words, if the user selected this profile image and added an image, then I want to get the image URL. So this image URL here, slot that in like so. Else, I want to use what was there before. So what was there before would be profile.photo. Okay, so profile.photo. All right, so that's the form data. All right, so now that we've put everything inside this form data, it's now time for us to actually update our profile in MongoDB with this form data. So I'll just come to my auth service, and then I'll just quickly create that function to update it. So here, that's because I've created everything in MongoDB since, so I just want to keep it consistent. All right, so I'll just come here and highlight all of this, and then just duplicate it, and then here I'll just say update profile, and here let's change this to update profile or update user. Aha, so response is equal to await axios dot, and now we want to do axios dot patch because that's what we used in the backend. So axios dot patch, and then we're just going to API users, and then this is also going to change to update user, if you remember. So update user. Then lastly, we're going to now pass it a form data. So here, form data, which is the data we want to update the user with. So add a comma here, and then just send the form data as well. Aha, so with this function here, we can update the user. So let's go ahead and save this first. Then I can now come back to my edit profile and then make reference to this update user here. So I'll come back here, and then I'll come down and say await and update user, and you see it's coming from our services and auth services. So open your parenthesis and pass it the form data. Okay, now just to at least receive the data and log it to the console, I'm going to put this inside a variable. So I'll say const, and I'll call it data variable. That's going to be equal to, so after I update the user, I will just log that to the console. So log data to the console so that we can at least see it. Then I will throw a toast notification, so toast.success, and here I'll just say user updated. Then lastly, I would navigate to the profile page. So navigate to profile. All right, so that's about it. So now let's go ahead and save, and then let's test this out one more time. So let it compile, and then I'm just going to come here, and okay, so we have Zeno. I'll just add updated as I usually do to, so updated, and then +234. Maybe I'll just add a phone number, and I'll just say bio updated as well. Aha, so lastly, I'll just choose an image, and I'm going to choose, I don't know, I want to choose an actual image. Anyway, I think I'll just choose this image of Express logo. So I'll just select that again, and then I'll click on, fingers crossed, I'll click on edit profile. But before I submit, there's one thing I think I forgot to do, and that is to set its loading back to false. So at the end of everything you do in this your try block, right, you want to set its loading back to false. So come here and say set is loading to false. Okay, go ahead and save that, and hopefully it doesn't refresh this page here. Aha, so it doesn't. So now I can go ahead and click on edit profile and cross my fingers to see if it works. Edit profile, and then it's loading. Aha, so you see user updated. Aha, this works perfect. So we have the Express logo, we have the name Zeno updated, we have the email, which we did not update anyway, but we have the phone number and the bio that was also updated. So that's about it for updating our profile, but definitely I'm not going to leave this as my logo or as my profile name. I want to choose something better. All right, so there's just one thing we need to do actually to correct in our edit profile functionality. And if you look here, you see here that we did an if statement, and we said that if there's a profile image, in other words, if the user is trying to upload a new profile image, then we want to do all of this stuff, which will end up making us get the image URL after we've uploaded to Cloudinary. Now, after we've uploaded the image to Cloudinary, we need to close this if statement here. In other words, this save profile and this function here to push the profile to MongoDB, we don't want it to be inside this if statement. So you see this closing curly braces, I would delete it from here, and then I'll close my if statement immediately I upload the URL. So here I'll just come here and put my closing curly braces. So now if you look at the statement again, we're checking if there's a profile image, and then we do all of this, which ends with getting the image URL from Cloudinary, right? Then after that, we close the curly braces, and then we save the profile in this form data variable. Then lastly, we now upload it. Okay, so that's just what I wanted to point out. We don't want all of this to be inside this if statement. All right, so now if you go ahead and save and test again, everything will work just fine.